The clean fuel standard, which is a misnomer because we've achieved clean fuel standards in this country in terms of tailpipe emissions, is really an attempt by the government to reduce to 30 tons below the benchmark that is set for 2030, further reduce the amount of emissions, carbon emissions in particular, and it really should be called the carbon reduction program, but it amounts to a taxation not just on end users, as we see currently with, say, diesel, gasoline, natural gas, or propane. It's also extending beyond gasoline, beyond liquid fuels, into solid fuels like coal, into gaseous fuels like natural gas. And so it becomes not just at the end user level, it also becomes at every stage of development of that particular hydrocarbon. So from extraction to distribution to transportation to production, and then finally to the end use. So it's really a cascading tax, if you will, that is applied and ultimately paid for by consumers. Hence why back in August, we wrote about this and said, this is really a second carbon tax. It is a stealth tax. No other country in the world has ever dared undertake this, and there's a good reason for it. According to the study that we put forward by LFX and Associates, which just came out at the beginning of October, no other country has done this simply because no even economist based on, and one who certainly subscribes to the idea of carbon taxes, would ever dare apply a second tax. It makes the first tax inefficient and it actually reduces the outcome. The effect of the CFS tax in Canada will mean 30,000 jobs net lost. It will mean about $22 billion fleeing the country as investors look for other places to shield the implications. And it will mean a significant hit to provincial, federal, and even municipal treasuries as a result. We're looking at a circumstance here, for instance, in Ontario, of direct costs of compliance being about $3.9 billion. That works out, by the way, just in Ontario alone, to $550 in additional cost to every worker in this province. The numbers don't get better across the country. We've done studies for other provinces as well, but the clean fuel standard is really overreach. Economists generally do not like it. And unfortunately for us, the federal government did not provide adequate, accurate, or I think informed reason and data to formulate its assumption. And all this really means big problems for consumers, but it also means significant dislocation for a country. No other country has attempted this, as I've mentioned earlier, and it's for good reason.